Hi, this is Dave Burkett, Lions beat writer for the Oakland Press, back with another edition of Lions Lowdown, the training camp edition. Out here the first day of training camp, and we're going to be bringing you regular updates weekly during the season, including during training camp. A lot of rookies making news early on for the Lions. The big news is Caleb Campbell, 7th round draft pick out of Army, was told yesterday by the Army that he could no longer play in the NFL. Shocking news. I had a chance to talk with Caleb a little bit this morning. He said he actually broke down and cried a little bit, that it was a dream of his, but he's over it now. He kind of prepared himself for having two careers. He said he had the best of both worlds, and that he was going to be able to play in the NFL, try to fulfill one dream that way, and go on and be an officer in the Army and fulfill another dream that way. And now he's just down to the best of one world. So he said he's over the initial shock. The one thing, though, is that the Army, the Department of Defense policy says that all service academy graduates have to give a 2-year minimum before they can buy out their time, these athletes and whatnot, to the actual Army duties or service duties. And the one thing that Caleb said he's going to be doing, however, is he's going to work as a graduate assistant coach, either at West Point or at the prep school, West Point Prep School. And I guess the one gray area that we're in here is if that qualifies as duties. How can playing football not qualify as duties? And I think we're getting into a lot of politics with that, and it's just something that really, because of the publicity that the Army got from its alternative service option program, which was how Campbell was going to be allowed to play in the NFL in the first place, while cadets from the Air Force or Navy aren't allowed to pursue athletic opportunities after they graduate. Really, they took a lot of heat for that from other service academies because they don't share the same policy. They all follow the Department of Defense edict word for word. And it really just came down to a political decision at the higher-ups in the Pentagon and wherever else. And the Lions are not at fault here in the least. Caleb Campbell is not at fault here in the least. It's just a shame that the way that it unfolded is that the last day, the day before training camp, the day rookies report, he got word. He actually got word Wednesday morning. His agent called him, asked him if he knew anything that was going on, woke him up from bed, and Caleb called up to the Lions practice facility, talked to Matt Millen, who told him to come down, and the two sat around for a few hours waiting for word on exactly what was going to happen before they finally found out that he wasn't going to be able to play. And now he's got when I had talked to him, he wasn't exactly sure when he was heading back to West Point, but he said that the real shame in it, and I really got to agree with him here, is that this didn't happen a few months ago. That he was able to go through the whole draft process and kind of live out the NFL dream for a few months and then really have the rug pulled away from his feet at this stage of the game. So that's going to be a developing story, and we'll follow this for the next couple years, really, because he'll be eligible to reapply in 2010 when he can buy out his remaining service time. I don't know, what's going to. I imagine a lot of things will change in that point, but from his standpoint, whether he'll still have the desire to play in the NFL or if a career in the military, happens for him, if he's already on that track, if he stays there. He said he's not going to be deployed. The earliest he'll be deployed is 18 months or so from now. So it's we still got a lot of news value in this and a lot of gray area that we'll be following for a long time. On the football field, Gosder Cherilus signed this morning. He agreed to terms late Wednesday night. He signed a 5-year deal worth about $8.9 million in guaranteed money. It's the right tackle from Boston College, the Lions' first-round draft pick. He looks good in pads. He's a big guy, and the pads really suit him. It's going to be interesting to see how that right tackle competition plays out. I would think that just being a first-round draft pick, the Lions are going to want him to start the season at right tackle. For now, George Foster is the #1 right tackle, but Cherilus is he's a guy that he's going to learn a little bit more as this whole thing goes. Gets a little bit more comfortable. You can still see him thinking out there a little bit. His first one-on-one drill today, he got a little bit too deep in his set. Ikaika Lama-Francis beat him inside, and then the next one-on-one, you could see him thinking, kind of as he was moving back, and Cliff Averill still beat him inside, but he looked a lot better in that one. Jordan Dizon, the second-round pick, is not in camp as of right now. I would expect that to happen any time now, later today in the coming days. They're pretty close on terms, and all the draft picks behind Dizon are signed. So it should be just a matter of time before he gets in. And really, for the Lions' sake, they need him in camp. They're a little bit short on numbers right now because Campbell's not here. That's one linebacker. They had to go and sign a linebacker off the street. Still no word on Takeo Spikes, whether he's going to sign and become a Lion. And Dizon's going to play a role this year. Whether he eventually starts or not remains to be seen, but he's going to play at some point, and the last thing you want is a contracted or a elongated holdout for contractual reasons. So it was good that Sherlis got in. Now he's going to be able to contribute right away. And Kevin Smith, that's another guy. He agreed to terms Tuesday, signed Wednesday, or signed Thursday morning actually. And he's a guy that you can just tell by watching him in the little bit that we've seen so far that he's going to be an impact player right away. Still runs a little bit upright. He mentioned that today is the one thing that he's really working on. That he doesn't. He's trying to run with a little more leverage. He took one shot from Greg Blue, the head-hunting safety. Everybody remembers him from the Cowboys game last year when he made a couple goal line tackles. But Smith got up, shook it off, said it's a learning experience, and it's something that he's going to be working on the next couple weeks, because really a lot of what the Lions are able to do on offense this year is going to come down to that ground game, and whether Kevin Smith or Tatum Bell or whoever wins that job. I think both are going to play, but one of those guys is going to be the feature back, and Tatum might start off that way, but Kevin's going to be the guy at some point this year. You know, how productive those guys are is really going to determine a lot about the Lions season. Again, we're gonna be bringing you these updates here on theoaklandpress.com and YouTube weekly throughout the season, and we'll have 2 or 3 more during the training camp. 2-a-days last for another week and a half, and then we get cracking with the preseason games. So check back then for more information on the Lions. And again, I'm Dave Burkett, Lions beat writer for the Oakland Press.